Okay, so we are back with the continuation of the top videos for 2024. Originally I said I was going to do 52 of them, but I missed one of them. So I don't know what happened. So rather than do the top 10, I guess I'm going to do the top 9. So if anybody is curious to find out what the 52 are, it's in the I have the playlist on my YouTube channel. Just feel free to scope about and check out the scene and see, you might find something else. So I don't really want to go back and find out the video that I did miss. I'm just going to take it from 9 and on down. So without further ado, now just keep in mind with as far as these 9 videos, I will be doing an explanation for them. So if you see the video and you're interested in it and you don't want me to spoil it for it, when you see it in the thumbnail, just pause pause before I say what I have to say about the video and give it a scope. If not, I'm just gonna take it, just say why these videos are the top 9 videos for me. So coming in at number 9 is one. Or again, I also want to make mention too. I'm sorry that every video that I have as far as the top 9, I've either heard or watched again several times. So while the top 52 to 40 something like that were good contenders, they just and I thought they were good. They're not videos that I probably went back and watched the second time. But every video down on here, I probably watched it at least 15, 20 times just for a pick me up or watch or listen to. So anyways, going in at number 9, excuse me, is Milo's Murphy Law do. Can I swipe? Oh, I can do it like that. Okay. So this is number 9. I said, this Milo's Murphy's Law. How do I do it? This is from the show Phineas and Ferb. What makes this scene, or just makes this video to me, in my opinion, is they have Weird Al Yankovic. I think I said Yankovic. I'm not sure. I think Yankovic is the correct way to pronounce it. I saw the person live, and back when he was out here, and I for shamefully can't get his last name right for the life of me. But anyways, he does the song for this video. I don't know if he wrote it, but he sings the lyrics for this video. And what's also so amazing with this video is the fact that it's the song itself is very catchy on its own right, but they also have the crew that's you see in the thumbnail. That is the same kind of outfits that they have in one of my personal favorite songs, Uptown Funk. And they do the similar dances. They do the similar moveset. I don't know what the creators were thinking when they decided to come up with this wild, outlandish concept. But it is, I don't know how I came across the song because I never got into Phineas and Ferb. This is 204. Not that I'm saying that it's bad. I'd be willing to go back and watch it because I've gone back and watched some other Disney shows. But yeah, no, just the song itself is incredibly catchy and the little dance step is really good. But there's like 2 versions of it. There's one for the actual show, and this is the extended version where I guess Weird Al sings the whole segment to it. And I think it's roughly 1 minute, 52 seconds or something around that time line. And I think the song is incredibly catchy. It's incredibly contagious. So if you're in for a incredibly goofy, weird song, this song is for you. It's so cheesy. I love it. So anyways, let's move on to the next one. This is coming in at number 8. This is Side Chain Fever, Scratch and Melody, original soundtrack. So this is from I think it's only on Steam. They've had the demo out. And this game is basically okay, I'm tripping my words. It's like Parappa the Rapper. It's the same concept. You press the buttons in a certain kind of synchron, or the game does a certain rhythm and you have to time the rhythm to match like it, or you can kind of freestyle within a certain rhythm in order to get like a better, higher ranking score. So that's essentially what this game is about with so many stages. And I believe I'm subscribed to the channel, even though I don't have a Steam, but I really want to play this game when it comes out. I've seen all the stages that they put out so far, and the sound for it is so good. In my opinion, I feel like this game has, as far as the songs to it, they have a fair amount of heart to it. Not the best out there, but it's really good. But when this one, Sidechain Fever, came out, it's like a combination of Parappa the Rapper, also combined with a puzzle game with an interesting song to it. It's so good. When they didn't do the full song when it first came out, they just did a demo for like the first like maybe 30-40 seconds or so. And I was just hooked onto the song and said, man, I can't wait to hear the whole song. I think the whole song, hopefully, I think it's going to be really good. And when the whole song dropped, it was absolutely majestic. I loved everything about it. The flow sounds like it's something from the 70s or 80s. It sounded so groovy. The girl in the purple, when she sings it, oh my gosh, she sounds so good. Melody, the girl on the top right, she misses a few notes, but otherwise, like she matches with the flow to her just tremendously. It's an outstanding song. If you're looking for a different kind of vibe or just you want to try something brand new, highly recommend this song. This song is just really neat. If you have a Steam account and you're ever into rhythm matching video games or once into Parappa the Rapper or another game, Jam-A-Lammy, or another game for the Nintendo called Rhythm Heaven or Rhythm Fever or any kind of rhythm-based game, I would highly recommend, if you have a Steam account, to check it out. If you don't, maybe check out the songs for it because they're a little catchy. But yeah, I really liked the soundtrack. So let's move on to number 7. Okay, so going into politics. Sorry I had to do this one. But I'm just gonna say flat out, like, I am not a Trump fan. I'm not really a Kamala fan in the slightest, but there's no way in the heaven or heck that I would ever vote for Trump. I'm just gonna put that out there. But there's a song by 50 Cent called Many Men. And it's an M-rated song. I just want to also throw that out there. It's Many Men, where they say they wish death upon him. And it's talk about and how people wish him dead, but he's still going to do what he has to do. Well, they came out with a Donald Trump version because when he got shot in the ear, he held his fist up and said, "Fight, fight, fight." And so, without just going too heavy into politics, like, this is a catchy song. As soon as I heard this song, I said, oh my gosh, this is the most ridiculous, stupid. I love this. I can't get enough of this song. And it's so catchy. They came up with like this version, it's like an E-rated not E-rated, but it's a teen rated. And it doesn't have a whole lot of, no. This version is an M-rated because it has a fair amount of profanity in it. But then they came up with the full version, which didn't have it. I guess it's for monetizing reasons. There we go. Monetizing reasons. That's why they have the full song. So, yeah. But it's if you're a fan of like rap music or parodies or 50 Cent, like, this is just the song, in my opinion. It's more funny than it is catchy. But yeah, it's a really catchy song. I must have, like, on the drive to work, just like it's so cool. But unfortunately, coming in at number 6, they came out with 2 different versions, not the same person, mind you, but they came out with another version, 50 Cent Many Men, by Donald Trump AI remix, and it sounds like Donald Trump, and this one sounds incredibly gangster. So why I like the previous one, because it's a little funny. Yeah, this one is incredibly good because he sounds like a cold thug president. It's oh my gosh, it's incredibly catchy. Also, I just want to rewind it back. Coming in at number 9, yeah, this one that has 38K. I just want to talk about the view count real quick. I won't stay on this subject for too long. But this one's coming in at 38K, and I don't think it has like too many likes because it's obviously not the original person who created Phineas and Ferb uploading it. I think it has like 7K likes. I'm not sure. This one, yeah, I think it's like 74 or 90,000 K. Really good song. And LG Lepshimstar, they are the producers of the game Scratch and Melody. Excellent game. If I had a Steam account, if it comes out for any system, they're definitely getting this money. And this one, let's see, Many Men. Let's see, this one has a lot of attention to it. I think it has like 174,000 likes. Honestly, yeah, it's really cooking. So, and this one, while I think it's my preferred version, I think this one isn't pushing too many likes. I think it's like oh geez, anything that I said would be a rough guess. So I couldn't say. I don't think it's broke like 70K or something like that. So obviously the other one is garnishing more attention. But yeah, this is really really good. In my opinion, the better version. But if you're looking for a silly laugh, go to the other one. If you're looking for a more thuggish Donald Trump version, which is both bits hilarious and pretty cool, then maybe check out this version. So yeah. And coming in, I believe this is number 6. Yes. So coming in at number 6, this is Dragon Ball Super Broly Abridged. Well, at the time I took a picture, this one had 1.4 million views. I think it's got like 70,000, something like that. It doesn't have 100K likes, but it's got like 70K likes. So just to go for a little bit of a history lesson, if you will, there was this one YouTube channel that's still pretty active. It's called Team 4-Star. They originally came out with the Dragon Ball Z Abridged. I don't know if they started the trend, but I believe as if they are the ones who really blew up the whole concept of an abridged series. An abridged series is just basically taking the original series, they condense it into a smaller version, and then they make it a comedy, or yeah, they make it funny, if you will. They redub what it originally is, and they add their own dialogue to it. They're not trying to take credit for the original ones. In every single video that you find is, as far as a bridge, or at least based off what I say, they say support the original release. We're not trying to make a profit off this because legally they can't. But anyways, getting back to the Team 4-Star. Team 4-Star had a series called Dragon Ball Z Abridged, and they've had a whole bunch of lawsuits that they had to attend to because I think Toriyama or the people from or the creators of Dragon Ball Z tried to make a lawsuit and said, no, under YouTube, it's under fair use, and it's a parody. We're not trying to make a profit off of it. Well, Team 4-Star had to struggle so much that after they finished the series, they said, we're just going to retire from the series because it's just too much work. We got the lawsuits that none of us are lawyers with this, but we had the lawsuits that are constantly under fire. These videos take a crazy amount of time to do. It's a crazy amount of stress. And we as much as we love this series, it's just too much of time and effort to put into it. It's not worth, we're not getting out what we're putting into it. So they quit. But they still have a YouTube channel, but I don't think they really upload they don't do the series anymore. There have been some snippets where they recorded some other scenes from other stuff that they do upload, but they're not doing the whole series right on through. I think they stopped at the Cell Saga. So they just did Dragon Ball Z. They didn't do Dragon Ball. If you're a Dragon Ball fan, I feel like you probably know this. I'm not educating somebody else, but for those who aren't Dragon Ball fans, there's 3 series. There's Dragon Ball, which was fairly long. Dragon Ball Z, which was abridged in this one up into the Buu Saga. And then there's Dragon Ball Super. Dragon Ball Kai is something different. But anyways, so they quit the whole series entirely. They didn't get to Dragon Ball Super at all. The Kai games, they picked up the series and they started to do Dragon Ball Super, just a few episodes. And it takes them a little bit of time just to put them up. But in my opinion, every video that they have put up has been worth it. And I was a little fuzzy about, I said, okay, so what's going to be going down as far as this Dragon Ball Broly Abridged series? How is that just going to, barrel over? I had high hopes, but I was a little scared for the series. And as I said at the very beginning of this video, I've watched the series or the videos in this more than one time. What makes this one so charming is they have they have aliens with different accents than the humans. The writing is not surprisingly. I don't want to make it discredit what they're doing. The dialogue, in my opinion, is really good. And then when they get to a certain fight scene of Goku Vegeta versus Broly, as far as video games, television shows, movies go, I like me a good battle scene when you can feel the anguish, the rage, the sadness for when a character goes through something. And in this one, in my opinion, I think it's better than the original series. This is based off of a movie, right? And the movie was really good as far as the action and whatnot. But when when the screams happen, you can tell in a lot of cartoon series nowadays, a whole lot of heart and just talent comes into voice acting. I feel like voice acting has gone a long way from what we used to heard back in like the 70s or 80s, or even the Looney Tunes days, compared to what's now. You can feel the amount of charisma, the amount of effort that they're really putting into these voice actors. And when the scene happens between Broly and Vegeta versus, Goku and Vegeta versus Broly, it is outstanding. I went to watch that fight at least like 40 something times. It is so good. The person who's voicing Broly does an amazing job. The person who voices Vegeta does an amazing job. Goku doesn't do a whole lot of yelling and screaming in this one, but when he goes through his little tangents where he's upset, you can feel it in his voice. But the Broly voice was just so outstanding. He made you feel like it, and like I said, man, I can only imagine the damage he does to his vocals. Like I wanted to hear something, but I was not expecting all of that. But it is outside. That is the part of this I've watched the most. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I went to go watch that fight several times because the voice acting, in my opinion, for that battle scene was so believable and so good. Especially like the first dialogue that happens between Vegeta and Broly. Like that's some of my favorite parts. Goku and Broly is more funny than it is anything else, but it's still equal, or it's good in its own right. Not as good as Vegeta and Broly, but so I give that part, like the Vegeta and Broly, like a 9.8. Like there's only small. I'd have to nitpick in order to find the faults in it, but it's outstanding. So that's coming in at number 6. Coming in at number 5 as far as the best videos for 2024. Peter Parker's co-workers when he first started submitting photos at the Daily Bugle. So this is another one of those black comedies, again, where just in case you haven't watched the other videos, just know that I'm a black person too. So this more resonates for me since I'm, African American. But this is basically like you see Peter Parker, he submits his photos to the Daily Bugle, right? And the first person he sends it to is a black person. He's like, what is this? Like, how's this? Wait a minute. How did you get these photos? Because the photos are so good. Like, you'd have to know Spider-Man firsthand, or you'd have to be able to fly in order to get these photos. Like, this is impossible. And then he's like, I said, okay, well then, hey, let me call somebody else in. Like, hey, you check out these photos. And they're looking at him like, no way, you took these? It's like, there's no way you could have took these photos because they look that good. Like I said, you see the photos and you swear like, okay, this guy must be an Avenger or something. Or he has to be Iron Man or some guy. He's got to be Superman in order to get these kind of photos because he's front and center in the middle of these. And so the reaction to this is just so hilarious. I went to go back just for a good laugh because it sounds so organic. It sounds so like real in this conversation because everyone like in the movies you see like the character does some stuff or whatever, and it's not like other characters or like some people just say like, oh wow, that's awesome. But this is like I know some of the dialogue that happens in this. It's like the guy's like, he comes on in and says, oh, hey, I'm here to submit these, or Peter Parker's like, hey, I'm here to submit these photos for the Daily Bugle, and then the black guy who's sitting in the chair, he said, yeah, Pete, I got you. Here you go. And he does a double take, like, wait a minute. He looks at the photos, he's like, all right. And he said, wait, whoa, that photo was too good. And he's like, you took these? And then Peter Parker's like, yeah. He's like, what'd you take these with? And then you see like that old school camera that they used to take back in the day to take the photos. I'm like, there's no way you could have got photos this good with that kind of camera. So yeah, this video is just out. It's, for me, it's hilarious. If you are a fan of a little bit of black comedy, or a fan of Spider-Man, or just a fan of comedy just in general, I would suggest if you're one of the three, maybe give this one a scope. So yeah, this is number 5, I believe. And make sure that no, that's number 4. I'm sorry. So yeah, that is number 4. Coming in at the strongest 3 videos of 2024. Coming in at number 3, Bowser versus Eggman. So a little bit of a backstory. So the channel, originally called Screw Attack, got its name changed to Death Battle. Unfortunately, they were paired up with this one YouTube channel called Rooster Teeth, which owned a whole lot of rights to a whole lot of stuff. They were bought out by them. And unfortunately, Rooster Teeth went down. But Death Battle said, okay, we know that there's a demand for what we do, and we need fan support. So if you guys really want to see the series, we have a ceiling. They had like a 100-something thousand or something 100 more than 100K, I believe. They said, hey, if you can submit to this, we can keep the channel going because this is mostly fan powered. So without you, we can't do this. And they not only hit the number that they want, but they went well beyond. And said, oh, okay. So then they said, all right, well, we got the money that we needed. So then this was the very first video after they got their donations. Bowser versus Eggman. And this is like I've been subscribed to Death Battle for a long time, since the early season. I want to say since season 3. And it seems like over the course of time, their death battles, some of the death battles get so much better. There's certain videos or death battles that I've watched a second and third time. I believe like Goku versus Superman is one of them. They've had it 3 different times, and I've watched all of them a second time. I think Gogeta versus Vegito was one of them. That's one that I went to go watch a second time. Oh, and I'm sorry. Let me just talk about going back to this one. Leanne and QZ, they're a very small channel. They don't have a whole lot of attention to this stuff, but I believe like this video believe it deserves more attention. The other ones I like, but I don't think they're for everyone. But I just want to throw that out or throw that in there. So, anyways, moving back. But yeah, so getting back to this video, what was I saying? Oh yeah, as far as the other videos that I've watched, I've also watched. Let's see, there was Carnage versus an anime girl character. I don't know where she's from, but Carnage is from Marvel. I mean, Marvel's Spider-Man. He's one of the villains that Spider-Man has to deal with. Let's see what else. I don't need to go into detail because that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this video. But in the Bowser versus Eggman, Mario versus Sonic death battle, yeah, this video was just outstanding. It was very well drawn. The dialogue between Bowser and Eggman are fantastic. I would if you're a fan of Bowser, Eggman, cheesy fights, or you just want a good action sequence, this is it. This is one of the best ones that they've produced. Like, if we were to take everything that came out for the first time and you're watching it for the first time, this is definitely one of the ones that's like, it's okay. Like, they didn't cut any corners. It was very well animated. If I were to nitpick it, I would have had to say, okay, I don't know about this one scene. But for the most part, yeah, I want to say this is almost a solid 10 out of 10 fight for me. Yeah, I won't go. As I said before, I had to nitpick. But yeah, I won't spoil who the winner is if you haven't seen this. But if you have seen this, or if you haven't seen it, oh my gosh, tell me what you thought of in the comment section. But yeah, this is the fight, the most. It can't even put it into words. That's how good it was. So yeah, 4.7 million views. And it got the likes that everyone, like, even if your character didn't win, you can't even say that, like, okay, the animated fight was good. Like, this is almost cartoon level fights good. Like, and you don't even see this from a high budget studio. That's how good this fight was. So anyways, we're moving on to the next one. We got Xenoblade Chronicles X. Now, how did a video about a video game beat out everything else? Now, granted, this video game I did not watch this video more than once, or not too many times. I want to say this is probably one of the ones on the higher list that I watched the least on this. However, the game Xenoblade Chronicles X for the Wii U was an outstanding game. It was an outstanding sandbox game. If you are into sandboxing games, or you like to explore just in the scene, or you like flying, and this checks all my boxes, then I highly would recommend this game to you. Because when this game came out, I would not stop talking about this game on how you can explore and whatnot. It's not so story driven, but it's just nice to explore, and it's a massive open world. And I really love the video game. And my Wii U broke, so I couldn't play it like I used to. It wouldn't hold a charge. There was something wrong with the control pad. It had a few different problems with it. But when Xenoblade Chronicles X was announced, it was announced on my birthday, October 29, Yeah, I'll just say that. October 29. I won't say the year. I'll just say October 29, 80 something. 80 something. So I could be either late 40s, I mean, not late 40s, early 40s, late 30s. So yeah, so that this video game dropped on my birthday, and it's crazy because I was talking to somebody about this video game, and I was like, man, it would be so nice if we got this game for the Switch. The people who made this game said there was no talk about it way back when. This is like 2 or 3 years, well, not these 3 or 4 years ago, any around that time. They said there's no talk about this game being dropped for the Switch because there's not enough demand for it. And then I think Xenoblade Chronicles 2 dropped, or no, like a year or two later, that's when Xenoblade Chronicles 3 dropped, and they got a massive positive reception. Almost like there were people wondering if it would get nominated for the Game of the Year. And I think it made the nomination, but it did not win, which is unfortunate. But I heard, like I said, a lot of great things from it, even though I personally have not played it myself. And I was thinking, like, I was having a conversation with somebody else, and they said, okay, well, wouldn't it be nice if, what if they came out with Xenoblade Chronicles for the Switch? And I'm like, you know what? As bad as I want the game to succeed. I don't want it to come out and then the game just flopped. Like I wouldn't want I wouldn't want the game for me to come out, and I'd be one of the few people that came out. Or came out and bought it. So if they decided, I hope the game succeeds. I don't want them to tailor to a small market like me. I would like other people to appreciate the game like I would, so that if the game does do well, we get an expansion of something like this for a future Xenoblade Chronicles game, or Xenoblade Chronicles X2 or something. I would like them to expand upon the game because I love the game. And it was dropped on my birthday. I'm like, you have got to be kidding. We have an entire year, 365 days or 64 days, depending on the year. 364 days that this game could have dropped, and it was dropped on my birthday. That I couldn't ask for a better birthday gift. I'm like, are you kidding me? This is what I'm getting. Or I get this, they dropped that news on my birthday. On my birthday. I'm like, this is the best gift ever. So when that game does drop off, and it's supposed to come out, it's coming out March 20th. So when that game does drop, I'm not going to be able to play it or stream it that day. I'll probably just get the game. However, I do plan on going on vacation. So when the vacation does happen, I put in for 4 days off. So I do plan on doing a lot of streaming of this video game that day. So just know, I think it's roughly the 24th, I will be streaming that game. I'll try to stream it a little by little on my days of work. I'm doing a little bit of overtime, but I'll see if I can just not do overtime so I can play this or stream this game. But yeah, this was just outstanding news. I could not believe that this game dropped on my birthday. And the video, it looks like they did a little visual sharpness to the game. Not a whole lot, but they've added some things. They had a lot of quality of life upgrades to this game. So yeah, coming in at 1.6 million views, I believe the like reception for us, I want to say, is probably like 80K. I don't know. It's just a rough guess. If I saw what the number was, I couldn't say, oh yeah, that was what it was. So that's just, what it is. Anyways, coming in at number one, my most liked video that I saw. This video must have listened to more than 50, 60 something plus times. This is the best video for me. This is the best video for 2024. I remember when they first dropped it. Or no, I'll just a little bit of not even the first dropping, just as far as this backstory. So I've been subscribed to Eddie FRB for a while, not from the beginning, but I want to say for about 5 or 6 years. So I want to say they've had at least like maybe about 15, 20 more videos before I actually got hooked onto the channel. And what had me for that was Epic Rap Battles of History. I went back and watched one of those. YouTube algorithm kicked in, and it said, oh, hey, maybe scope out this, maybe scope out this, maybe scope out this. Eventually, this channel hit the vents. And I've seen I think this channel has I have a playlist dedicated to just wacky music like this. I have a playlist dedicated to just music just in general, and then I have a playlist dedicated to not the typical radio that you listen to on or typical music that you hear on the radio. And this is part of that list. And when they first dropped like a trailer for this song, I was like, okay, well, this one looks a little bit different, but yeah, I'm hopeful for it. But then I just want to also say for the record, it's involving South Park, so obviously there's going to be some M-rated stuff in this that they're going to talk about. And put the kids to bed, or if they're not mature enough for this, I would highly recommend they don't watch this. Heck, I wouldn't if I had kids. I wouldn't show it to my kid. Maybe a teen. Like if they're I don't know. I don't know what teens are into nowadays. I can only talk about from my time frame. So I'd maybe I would know the age what I would do it, but I'd have to know my teen to say, okay, is this mature enough to watch it? And I don't really want too much of exposure to this to my teen. But anyways, when this video came out, oh my gosh, the beat is so good. This is the beat is so good. The music is so different. It has such a different rhythm to it. It's outstanding. Um, First off, Cartman goes off, and then Cartman he grills. It's a versus match, and with typical ERB epic rap battles of history fashion, one person goes their verse, the other person replies, the other person. Person one starts, person two replies, person three replies, person four replies back, and usually the series is done. Or there may be some more back and forth, but it usually ends on an even note. You wouldn't have person one start and then person two replies and then three, then four, and then back to five. Both of them would get a fair amount of camera time, right? So so that all went down, and with Cartman, he starts off with the first verse, and it's pretty good. But when Charlie Brown he claps back with his verse, in my opinion, it's really really good. I want to say that like it's his delivery, or the person who delivers this, he doesn't deliver it quite like Charlie Brown, but for the most part, it's. I used to watch some of the Peanuts shows back in the day, and it's pretty close. It's a pretty good rendition of what it sounded like back in the day. The only thing, like there wasn't enough like scratching in Charles Brown's voice, like when he says "ugh." That used to be a thing that he used to say, but the delivery was good. I also want to say like another minor nitpick too is the voicing didn't match the animation of when they spoke. So that was the other like I don't know part that I would say for the video. But like I said, the tune is what really gets it for me. So yeah, Charlie Brown, he's claps back and his verse is pretty good. Cartman, he claps back and he goes into like preacher mode. I'm not a fan of South Park, so I tried to get into it, just wasn't for me. But he goes into like preacher mode and he really rips into Charlie Brown and he says some heavy stuff. I'll just say that. It is definitely some adult material. So again, I'm just to say to my audience, just know what you're getting before you watch this video, because it's pretty deep and it's also very dark. It's one of those things. If you say it on YouTube, when you say the wrong thing on YouTube, you can get demonetized or you can get that video taken down. It's that heavy. The unaliving, if you will. It's sort of referencing towards that. So yeah, it's pretty heavy. But so that whole thing, he claps back and says like that, and he says, or Cartman ends it with, help is available. Just talk to your local therapist to get it sorted out today. And Charlie Brown says, good grief. And then Cartman's like, hey, wait, where are you going? He didn't think he'd actually take his advice. He said, all right, well, then fine. Go ahead, do your thing. And Lucy, in the Peanut show, Charlie Brown would constantly seek Lucy for therapeutic advice, and she would give some advice, and usually it's not always that good. But Lucy, she comes in as a therapist, and she claps back on Cartman, and her clap back is really good. I want to say it is, let's see, if I were to put, because there's 4 verses in this thing, I would say that Cartman's third verse, then Cartman's third verse, and then Lucy's next verse. No, okay, so it goes Cartman, Cartman first verse, Charlie Brown second, Cartman third, Lucy fourth. I would say Cartman's third verse is probably the best verse in the thing, followed by Lucy's verse is probably next, followed by Charlie Brown's, and then Eric Cartman's first verse. Eric Cartman's first verse is the weakest as far as it, but it's not. It's like it's the best of the. It's like the worst of the best part. So it's still good in its own rank, but it's not the strongest out of the whole thing. And so yeah, so then Lucy rips into him, and then afterwards, Lucy tells him, he says, spell it out, Charlie Brown. And then Charlie Brown fumbles the ball, I guess pun intended, yet again. And he says, like, wait, was I supposed to deliver the punchline? And Lucy says, Charlie Brown, you're supposed to. Well, no, Lucy says, was I supposed to say something? And Charlie Brown says, was I supposed to say something? And Lucy says, Charlie Brown, you were supposed to deliver the punchline. You wouldn't know a setup line if it walked up and slugged you. I've heard you do, or I've seen you do some things or bad. I've seen you do some bad things before, but this is unforgivable. You're hopeless, Charlie Brown, completely, utterly hopeless. Which that is completely in character for Lucy, but it's not a rap verse. So that's the only thing I'm docking points for. Not to say that, it's poorly written. It's everything that's within character, but this is a rap battle. But be that as it may, this is still the best video for me for 2024. So I've listened to just this one song well over 40 to 50 times because it is incredibly catchy. I've seen another video on this. I think I please don't tell me I get this wrong, but I think it's the duck versus the goose, and that one I listened to several times too. I believe it's this is the channel that I listen to. So yeah, this is my favorite video of 2024 of all time. Didn't watch it so much as I listened to it while I'm on the drive to going to or from somewhere. It is that catchy. So yeah, that is my list. That's just my list. So I'm combining together another 2025 video. I'm starting early, so it's not really in its true order yet, but by the end of the year, I will probably have a finite version of what I want to be the best video at the end of the year. So yeah, so that's what it was. I'm sorry it took me so long to get to this. Work has been a little hectic lately, some overtime, and had to take care of some errands that's also involving work. So my apologies to anybody who's anticipating or waiting for my next video to drop as far as this. But hey, just for appearing into this, thank you so much for your time. If you do like what you see, maybe drop a like. If not, okay, well, thank you for so much as just listening to me rambling on for things that I'm passionate about. If anybody's also curious about maybe a TV show that I've recently watched, or I can go back and watch a series on, what's that background noise? I think it's a car braking. But if anyone's interested in watching a TV show or a TV show that hearing about a TV show I've watched or a video game that I played, as far as my personal reviews, I can type up a format, I can type up a script and say as far as what my thoughts as far as the series go, or I can just talk about it fresh off the dome, or I can write up I can sort of write it off the dome. I can start with graphic stories. I can write the graphics, what I liked about the story, and just write just sort of a blueprint as far as what I want to talk about, or whatever it is, so have you. So anyways, again, thank you so much for spending some time just to listen to me ramble on all about nothing, or nothing to you, something to me. Again, drop a like if you can. If not, that's cool. Thank you for spending some time with me. And as always, be good to yourself, be good to others, and we hope to see you with the next one. So have a good 2025, everyone. And until the next one happens, take care.